So I figured I'd do a different kind of video. Not a review or a raging rant, a video where I jump around like an idiot screaming and shit like that. Figured I'd just do a simple video, a nice calm video, a serene video to relax, right before I go to bed, get in a relaxing, sexy mood in my robe, making a nice little video here for the people here on YouTube, for my subscribers. Yes, that's right, my subscribers. Alright, well anyway, this is going to be the top 10 favorite wrestlers. My top 10 favorite wrestlers. The current roster, this is not of all time, so, let's just do the disclaimer here. People who are part-timers are not going to make the list. I wanted to challenge myself. It made it a lot harder because there's not a lot of wrestlers that I really like and am a fan of. So I didn't put Lesnar or Jericho because they're part-timers. No Triple H. Triple H wouldn't have made the list regardless. Haha. But, that's besides the point. Okay, so here's my top 10 favorites at the moment. Number 1, CM Punk. Okay, no, we're not off to a great start there because he's not there right now. But he was a couple of weeks ago, and this was a very close decision between number 1 and number 2. But CM Punk slightly gets the edge at number 1 for my favorite wrestler in the company right now. The guy could be a great face of the company if it wasn't for motherfucking John Cena taking the spotlight at every turn. But if he was the face of the company, he'd be a great face of the company. He's not the face of the company, but he should be the face of the company. But he's not. And despite what a lot of people say, this man has had like 2 5-star, near 5-star matches in the past few months. A great match on Raw against Cena. Then a classic match, a modern day classic against The Undertaker. What wasn't a really great Mania, but a match that saved Mania from being horrible. So the guy is a great wrestler. Not only that, but he's a great personality. And that's why I helped put him at number 1. Not only is the guy great at wrestling, but he's fantastic at promos. Even with the WWE's horrible fucking script, he tries to tell a story the best he can, even though his promos are being watered down, even though we know he has more potential, because when the guy's being interviewed, he's more entertaining in interviews outside of wrestling than he is, on Raw when they interview him there. So the guy's being held back. Number 2, this was a very close call, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is only at number 2 on this list is because he's been beaten down on the roster. He's not really considered to be important. It's kind of obvious that, Kane is considered to be the bigger part of the team and Daniel Bryan's more of the weak link. That's why Daniel Bryan always gets pinned and Kane doesn't. When they have to job the team, Daniel Bryan takes the fall and Kane still gets to, remain on his feet or whatever. So anyway, Daniel Bryan could be a world champion, but instead he's stuck in a garbage-ass fucking tag team with a washed-up motherfucker. He was once a great wrestler, Kane, but not anymore. The comedy skits are big-time fails. They're not funny. The anger management segments were funny at first, but it didn't take long before they got all fucked up. Daniel Bryan's title reign was all fucked up. All they made him do was fight big guys like Mark Henry and Big Show. And even though those matches weren't horrible, he could have been wrestling better wrestlers. He could have been defending against Ziggler and other guys. So the guy gets no fucking respect at all. The guy is probably the most amazing fucking technical wrestler, and they treat him like fucking garbage. Fucking goddamn garbage. They make fun of him. They make fun of his beard. They make fun of his haircut. I think that it's fucking horrible because if there's someone who should be made fun of, it's fucking Vince McMahon and his fucking retard brain. Fucking Vince McMahon. He should be the laughing stock, not Daniel Bryan. Vince McMahon wants to fuck over Daniel Bryan. Fuck Vince McMahon! Number 3, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is an amazing wrestler. I was one of the people on here that wasn't a fucking phony and jumped on his bandwagon at the last second. You could go all the way back to the beginning when I started making wrestling vids here on YouTube in early 2012. I was wearing the Ziggler shirt. Ziggler was in a shit tag team with Jack Swagger, but I still stood by him. Because you know why? Because he was still doing the best he could given the circumstances that he was put in. It was just a shitty booking. Finally, he's world champion. They've sort of been fucking around with his booking as champion, but this recent Raw, he looked good. So, Dolph Ziggler, the guy is okay with promos. He's not amazing. His voice isn't the best. It's a little bit too high-pitched for a wrestler for my taste. It doesn't seem to bother a lot of other people. He's got the look, a very cocky look with the slicked hair back. I like the look and everything. I like what he's about. Can't really complain too much about him. He's a great wrestler, and that's why he gets to be at number 3 on my list. Number 4, Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger can't talk for shit, but I like his current gimmick. They seem like they're backpedaling a little bit, but that's okay because he's still a great wrestler. And on SmackDown, this past SmackDown, he proved that he could wrestle heads and just above the rest of the other fucking talent. The guy could use weapons, he could technical wrestle, he could brawl. Fucking Jack Swagger, he could do it all. And I know that's what Paul Heyman said, a little something like that about Kurt Angle fucking years ago. But that's okay because, Swagger in a lot of ways is like Angle, and he reminds me of Angle, and that's why I like him. People said that he's a rip-off of Angle. That's true. He is. He's supposed to kind of pick up the slack that Angle left when he left for TNA because WWE was treating him like shit, or was about to. Anyway, Jack Swagger is a great fucking wrestler. He gets a lot of hate. I made a video a couple of months back about Swagger being better than The Rock, and I stand by that 100%. He is a better wrestler. And as far as I'm concerned, he's even better on the mic. He might, not sound that great when he does talk, but shouting "we the people" is way more productive than telling a fucking story about buying a used car from a fucking hobo. And that's the goddamn honest truth, motherfuckers. Honest goddamn truth. Number 5, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, I watched a match with him in FCW against William Regal. The match was an amazing technical masterpiece. Almost near 5-star match. It was fucking amazing. Wrestled The Undertaker on SmackDown. Great. The guy's facial expressions, the promos, everything is there. I'm watching on Raw how he mocks Kane with the Undertaker thing stuck in his tongue out. The guy's just fucking genius. He's got a cool look to him. The wrestling skills are there. He's had the wrestling skills for years. He's been in CCW. The guy could hardcore wrestle, technical wrestle. He could brawl. Once again, another very well-rounded wrestler. When they talk about pound for pound, you got Dean Ambrose standing tall right next to that, that fucking description. Number 6, Seth Rollins. I was going to put The Shield as one choice, but I had a big fucking problem coming up with 10 wrestlers that I'm actually a fan of. Seth Rollins is another good fucking wrestler. Not as... Dean Ambrose has got more charisma, but Seth Rollins is probably just as good of a wrestler. The guy had some amazing matches in ROH under the name Tyler Black. The guy was pretty fucking over in that company. I liked him. I liked him a lot. And and even though, of course, he's watered down in WWE like just about everybody, the guy is still a great wrestler. Not too good with the promos, but he's a good wrestler. And sometimes, especially in this day and age, that's all you can really hope for. Number 7, Cody Rhodes. I like Cody Rhodes even though the man's name has been trounced upon in recent months, in the recent year. He was starting to build up a real reputation with the whole disfigured gimmick. I had mixed opinions about it, but for the most part, I guess I kind of liked his, super heel run. Then it all was downhill from fighting Big Show at Mania and Extreme Rules last year. Just a fucking awful comedy feud. Uh, when he was facing Booker T, he looked like a real star. He had a street fight with Randy Orton, which was another good match that I enjoyed. Just this recent Raw that just passed, he had another good match, so maybe he's getting on his, winning ways once again. I don't like this team he has with fucking Damian Sandow at all. Not one bit. I like Sandow. I like his character. Not really too proven in the ring yet, but I guess he's all right. But they really haven't had a lot of good matches as a team. But Cody Rhodes they gotta do something with his gimmick to get him really over with the crowd. And so far, they haven't found the way how to do it just yet. Number 8, Justin Gabriel. This might surprise the fuck out of a lot of people, but I have talked about Justin Gabriel. And this man possibly could be higher on the list if they booked him in fucking matches. Now, this guy can't really talk. He ain't a horrible talker when they have him talk, but he really can't talk in the sense that he's good at cutting promos. But the man is nearly flawless in the fucking ring. Go watch any match that this man has had with the company, and he's a high flyer. He moves at 100 miles per hour in the ring, and I don't think he's ever botched once. His 450 looks amazing, and all his other moves look pretty good. He's got this really great springboard moonsault, and it's just fucking breathtaking. Not only that, but I don't understand, Justin Gabriel's a real hit with the ladies. He's got a real fan following on Twitter. People say that he's the Cape Town werewolf because he's got Twilight good looks. And this is the thing, it's a good looking guy that a lot of women are attracted to, and people could really appreciate his wrestling ability. So the men can appreciate the wrestling ability, and the women can appreciate his good looks. So it's a win-win for everybody. But no, instead let's just keep him in the the lower card. Let's keep him on main event where people won't see him. Number 9, Cesaro, Antonio Cesaro. Another guy I've had a lot of mixed opinions on, but for the most part, I like him. The guy hasn't even shown half the shit he could do. When he was in ROH, the Kings of Wrestling with Chris Hero, the man was fucking amazing. He was just great. And when he was doing, his really super Swedish thing, and he was going, hey, like this, that was great. I don't really like his character so much. The yodeling thing, they have to get rid of that shit fucking pronto. It's fucking lame. It's fucking ridiculous. Don't like it one fucking bit. Get rid of the fucking yodeling. At least on Raw, they relegated that shit to the commercial break on the WWE app. But they gotta get rid of it altogether. Because if I have to see that one more time on television, I'm liable to shoot myself in the motherfucking head. But he's a good wrestler, and he had a good match against Del Rio on Raw, and he's had good matches in WWE, but he really hasn't had a real standout match yet. And that really isn't too good because he's been there for a while now. Number 10. Struggled with number 10, but I guess I'll put Damian Sandow on there. I was really struggling for number 10, but Sandow's got a good character. He wears a robe like I do, and, he's pretty good on the mic. Matches, really hasn't had a lot of good ones. He's had some tolerable ones. He's got potential. He's pretty clean and crisp in the ring, but he doesn't really have any standout moves or anything that really, makes me say, oh, wow, that guy's a great wrestler. No, but, yeah, I need a number 10, and the guy's good on the mic. So, yeah, there you go. So there's my my top 10 favorite wrestlers. It was a real struggle, but I made it through the video. Okay, haha.